deteriorating. There is no reason for shock. So, pelvic fracture is one thing which is very important, and I believe that pelvic fracture should be managed primarily by trauma surgeons, not by orthopedic surgeons, because the anatomical the bony alignment is not a priority. The first and foremost priority is what? Stabilizing the patient by hemorrhage. The most important thing to control the hemorrhage in a patient with pelvic fracture in ED. Yes, pelvic binder. So, pelvic binder is the most important thing, that the moment you recognize that this patient has a pelvic fracture, you must apply a pelvic binder. We are not going to teach you how to do the pelvic binder. Then you classify the patient based on his physiology, that he is a responder or non-responder or a transient responder. What is the difference between the three? Okay, okay. Yes, 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 and 2 liters of the crystalloids pre-warm, and the non-responder is who doesn't show any signs of the response. So, this is यार ये मैं तू करेगा मैं कर दूँगा. So, depending on this, you decide the further management of a patient with the pelvic trauma. So, the non-responders and the transient responders, they are shifted to the OR or to angio suits. So, transient responders sometimes may be shifted to the angio suits for the angioembolization, but here we will concentrate mainly on patients who are non-responder following pelvic fracture. They are shifted to the OR for hemorrhage control. So, there are basically 3 types of pelvic fractures based on the mechanism of injury. One is vertical shear. If somebody has fallen from height, then his pelvis will be tilted. So, one half of the portion will go up and half will go down. So, that is a vertical shear. So, the mechanism of injury is fall from height. One is the anterior-posterior compression. If somebody is crushed between a moving vehicle and a stationary thing, then his pelvis will be crushed. So, you see a open book type of fracture. The pubic symphysis will open. And the third is the lateral compression. So, if you are hit from the side and you against the wall, then your pelvis is crushed like this. So, in vertical shear and in the anterior posterior, in both the conditions, the volume of the pelvis is increased. There is a formula 2 pi h r1 square plus r2 square. It means you increase the height of the pelvis or the inlet and outlet radius. In both the conditions, the volume will increase, and pelvis is very rich in blood supply. There are great vessels, iliacs, both artery and veins, and venous plexus in the pelvis. So, when I was just teaching this, the pelvic X-ray we take, there is a injury to the venous plexus. It is a indirect evidence that there is a fracture. It means there is a bleeding inside from the major vessels, from the venous plexus, and from the bony fragments. So, your aim for surgical intervention in pelvic fracture patients, what is your aim? So, this is the venous plexus, arteries and fractures. They lead to hemorrhage control, blood loss. So, unstable patient is shifted to a pelvic binder in the ED, then he is shifted to the OR, then you some non-responder patients BP is around 90, may be shifted to the angio suits, but other they are shifted to the OR and for hemorrhage control. What type of hemorrhage control in the OR? Two. One, ligation of the intra-ileal ligation. Why intra-ileal ligation? So, most of the arterial supply of the pelvis is through the internal artery that we will show you. So, this is the internal artery and most of this blood supply to the pelvis is from the internal artery. So,